Hey there, PJTV fans. I'm Andrew Klavan, and I'm here with a man who wanted to go into politics, but he couldn't tolerate the cocaine and hookers. It's Bill Whittle.
Democrats.
Yeah, that's right.
So I became a Republican. Yeah.
Your topic comes from MandoVerde.
MandoVerde.
The most interesting man alive.
Yes.
MandoVerde wants to talk about the value and danger of cynicism.
I just like the way the question was worded.
Yeah.
And I think the thing I liked about the question is it's like the value of cynicism. It's like it really is kind of like the value and danger of amphetamines or cocaine or something. Cynicism is like that. The danger of cynicism is where the answer is. We'll get to that in a second. But there is a certain value in it. First of all, it's just fun and it's easy and it makes you sound smart and cool. And you know, so any idiot walking around can be a, you know, hey, things are going to be okay. It takes a real deep mind and a rebel and a, you know, and a guy with a tortured soul to say, no, it's all going to be all right. Cynicism functions, I think, in the same sort of way that worry does. And there's actually a survival quality to worry that's very, very good. Those cavemen that sat up worrying about a leopard coming in at night preferentially survive the leopard than the ones that, nothing could happen. You know, I think, oh, these other guys posted cards. But cynicism is kind of like that. Cynicism is a sort of a form of constantly expressing the worst case scenario to protect yourself against the worst case scenario. And that's why, you know, they always say scratch a cynic and you find a romantic. And I really think that's fundamentally true. I think cynicism is the response to people who genuinely have high hopes for things, or at least had high hopes for people, high hopes for themselves, high hopes for society, high hopes for whatever kind of progress you want to mention. And when it didn't happen, they're so heartbroken that cynicism is a way of kind of breaking your heart every day, in every word and every attitude and every reflection, so you're never disappointed, so you're never really, you know, heartbroken again. Every politician's a no-good-for-nothing crook. Well, it's probably the safe bet. And so you can only be pleasantly surprised from there. So there is a value to this kind of dark thinking, right? But cynicism is a bill that's too high to pay for a number of reasons. Number one, it is a self-fulfilling prophecy. If you believe that everything's going to be miserable and that there's no chance to succeed and that, you know, life is meaningless, then sure enough, you will have no chance to succeed and life is meaningless. As Henry Ford said, if you believe you're going to succeed or fail, you're right. So there's that. And cynicism, ultimately, I think, Andrew, I think it's ultimately cowardice. I think it's the cowardice of people who are unwilling to stake a claim for the possibility of something good happening. And it takes a bit of courage to do that, you know. It takes a little bit of courage to do that. I just, at BillWhittle.com, we just a few days ago passed our 1-year anniversary.
Oh, congratulations.
Thank you very much. And the first year is the hardest year by far. Sure. You have all these expenses, and you don't know what you're doing. You're learning how to do the job. So it's an accident that we're still in business, frankly, but we are. And we're cash flow positive. And in order to do that, in addition to the work I do here, I had to take out a 3-year lease on an office, which put me in hock for damn near $100,000 in LA. And that's an act of courage. I don't know how else to describe it. It's you really just signing this thing. It's not, by the way, you're going to lose your business assets. All your personal stuff's going to go too. If you can't make this rent for this rent that you can't make unless other people give you their money. It's an act of courage. And cynics don't have that courage. And that courage is badly needed today. The courage to say, yes, it's absolutely true that failure is common and I may fail too, but I'm going to take a chance. And if it turns out you tell me I told you so, that's fine. But also, when I'm on the island in Saint-Tropez surrounded by beautiful women sleeping on giant piles of money, if that should occur, that's because I wasn't a cynic.
Yeah, and I think what you said about cynicism and idealism is really true, that cynicism is a kind of deflated romanticism. And it's really realism that we're looking for. It's not cynicism. It's a healthy skepticism about the claims of others, and it's certainly a guard against what's the word? High sentiments that that are really backed by nothing. I mean, I love my country. You know I do. I love this country. But I also, when I hear somebody pounding the drum and waving the flag, I ask myself, well, wait a minute. You know, are the things he's talking about really? Do they really represent my country? Do they really represent the things I want in my country? Many a man is charged over a hill because some guy made a pretty speech when he should have stayed at home. Yeah. And so I think realism is really what we're looking for, and a certain tragic sense. And in that tragic framework of life, you know, we live, we die, we all come to the same end. In that tragic framework of life, wonderful things can happen. You can end up on a whatever island in Saint-Tropez you're looking for, whatever you know, whatever paradise, whatever beach, as the beer commercial says, you're looking for. Those things can happen. It won't change the tragic nature of life, and it won't change the fact that, you know, there's dishonesty and sin in all of us and all that stuff. But within the context of those things, you can believe a great many good things, and in reaching for what exceeds your grasp, you can get much further than you think you can.
You had a really interesting point there, and that point was the idea that the antidote to both romantic optimism and cynicism is realism. Yeah. And when you look at the most cynical, murderous people in history, you can't beat the Bolsheviks. The Nazis were pikers compared to these guys, because the Nazis killed the other, but the Bolsheviks killed the other, and then they ate them themselves. Yeah. And they were, without question, the most cynical group of politicians and the most cynical political system ever to exist on the earth, and it's because they were so romantic. It's because of their romantic vision in the beginning that was so disconnected from reality. It never could have happened. That when that failed, all across the entire culture, when that romantic vision failed, they go from up here to down there, and they commit these horrific acts when essentially, and I came late to this game, the entire philosophy of conservatism is a realistic look at the nature of what man is and his built-in foibles and his built-in flaws, and can we construct a system to constrain the natural, innate human bastardliness that exists in all of us, and instead of a perfect world, have one that's pretty good.
Yeah, well, I think that's why the founders are always coming under attack. They were such realists, and they knew the human nature so well. Which is all we have time for today. Let us know what questions you'd like answered by leaving them in the space below. For Bill Whittle and PJTV, I'm Andrew Klavan. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.